All right, let's keep this going.
Some folks go with a squad. Some go with orders. Me? I go with my partner. 4 paws, sharp eyes, steady heart. And that's enough. Dust on the boots, wind in the wires, hear an engine humming low like buried fire. Junkyard at my knee, eyes burning bright. We move like a whisper through the falling light. No words spoken, no signal sign. He reads my steps, I read his spine. 2 shadows crossing where the headlights roam. When we're on the move, I ain't never alone. And I know what waits out there. Steel dust and a man in a cold driver's chair. But I've lived enough to understand loyalty ain't issued, you earn that man. But in Junkyard, steady on the field, loyal hearts moving with a purpose revealed. Stinger in his driver with a scorpion's heel. Fast strike waiting on the turn of a wheel. No glory, just grit and the strength we feel. Loyal hearts rolling steel. He sits in that Jeep with a helmet of steel, hands cold on the wheel, but he knows how to deal. Train real sharp, move clean and tight. A soldier, emotion in the edge of the light. I don't hate him, and he don't hate me. We're just set to collide where the dirt runs free. 2 ways of living in the dust gray zone. But I move with a partner, he rides alone. We close the gap in the fading sun. No talk, no fear, we move as one. Hand on the strap, Junkyard leans low. Taillights flare, we already know. No thought, just ground. I move, he moves, that's how we're bound. Mutt and Junkyard, steady on the field. Loyal hearts moving and they never yield. Stinger in his driver with a scorpion steel. One silent moment on the edge of the wheel. No glory, just grit and the ground we feel. Loyal hearts rolling steel. And the dust rolls on and the day stands still. Loyal hearts rolling steel. No salute, no song, just footsteps in the dust, and 2 shadows walking home.
Mature content warning. On Logan's Joe Takes, strategic commentary may include strong language, heated opinions, classified references. Time to call in the Joes. Opposing forces may attempt audio interference. Logan's Joe Takes. Mission begins now.
Yo, Joe, listen up, I got a story to tell about a guy named Logan. Oh, he's so swell, he's the G.I. Joe gamer. Cool and witty, talking about those characters, heroes, and villains at midnight we shout. Yo, Joe, or Cobra, talking about the Joe team and a Cobra time. Joe's got snake eyes, the silent ninja in black. Quick with his swords, he'll give you a heart attack. Then there's Duke the lead.
Cobra, Yo Joe. I am Logan, the G.I. Joe Gamer. This is Joe Takes number 73. Stinger and Driver versus Mutt and Junkyard is our focus. Hope you guys are up for some Veterans Day salutes tonight, because I've got quite a few for you. And we're going to kick that off with a little short 15-second salute to our canine friends in the service.
Here you go, buddy, for your service.
Good boy.
That's it, not a boy.
All right. Love our canine support team. Okay, tonight we are talking some really cool stuff. I've got plenty of music having in the background. That's way too loud, so we're going to turn it down. Just going to have some fun tonight and talk some G.I. Joe and give some shout outs to all our veteran friends. I've got lots to share with you near the end of the show. Possibly you'll confuse it, switch the song and make for it. Yeah, you know, Suno can be fun, Jess. We've been chatting in the talking in the chat about Suno and music generation. But we're going to kick this off like we always do with a look at a vintage figure. Now, I do have the vintage Stinger, but mine is in such bad shape and it's in storage. I didn't bother to get it out. However, I do have my original Driver, and I attempted to do some some Sharpie work on his badge on his helmet, because it shows you that he's a Cobra officer. But I don't know if you can really see that. But mine is in really bad shape. I need a new one, and I've been wanting to get one for a while, but haven't had the funds. You know, they run about $100 to $150 depending on how good a quality. Sometimes you can get them for cheaper than that, $50 sometimes. But, you know, I want a good one, and I want the file card, and I want all the accessories and everything for that Stinger Jeep, because it's awesome. Even back then, it was awesome. Now, the classified version, which I'll share with you, is badass. However, in the 25th anniversary line, they came out with these 5-packs, and when they first came out, and in the Cobra Troopers expansion 5-pack, they came with a Stinger Driver, but they just called him a Cobra officer. But it does say Stinger Driver on it, so that's on his file card and on his battle stand. And I happen to have picked up 2 of those packs, so I've got 2 of these bad boys. Love this Cobra Officer. Cobra Officer is one of my favorite Cobras ever, probably because from he's way back. You need to punch something? Well, you know, you're going to have to work that one out on your own, my friend. But that's going to take us to the classified version of this bad boy. And I'll set these just out of the way here. I thought, you know what, the 25th anniversary, like I said, I did some Sharpie work on the badge, and I didn't do a good job on that one. But my original job on this one, I did pretty good. So you can see the badge on his hat, denoting him as an officer in Cobra ranks. But yeah, I was gonna put him up here so you can. Oh, I dropped shit, of course. What would a Joe Takes be without me dropping stuff? And it's important stuff, so I can't leave it on the floor, of course. You get out of the way. Okay. Anyway, the 25th anniversary to the original, very good update. I meant to get the newer one, the retro one they came out with, but wasn't able to do that. It was a Walmart exclusive, but it didn't end up being that way. It ended up being a Hasbro exclusive. Playing the Mad Game tonight by yourself? No Mad Game tonight. But here's his Foot Locker. He was number 120 in the series. Now, there's nothing in this box because I got it all out to show you. And basically, all that he has in there is the stuff, is blast effects for the Stinger Jeep, which, let me show you the box for it first, because this is a big box. I mean, look at all this stuff. With all these blast effects and guns and all this cool stuff. I said number 120, front of the box, which is sweet. But this is kind of an update to the Cobra Officer. This is a Mutt and Junkyard episode. Don't make any mistake. We're doing both, but this is mainly for Mutt and Junkyard. So there's the box. I love the side art on this. It's badass. I should have scanned this and put it in a video, but I couldn't find a scan of it online. Except the whole box on it was like pretty crazy. But that's going to take us to Mr. Stinger Driver. And then we'll look at the Jeep because, you know, that's the prize tonight. He came with an AK-47. His version did not come with the laser sight, which I thought was weird. I might have lost mine, but I don't see it on the box either. Ever been a player in your own mag? No, I have not, Jess. I would love to play mag. So that would be cool. Yeah, he comes with a knife, a knife. So he has a combat knife that goes right there in the side sheath. He has a sidearm, which is a pain in the butt to get out, so I'm not going to pull it out, but he does have a sidearm. And he has a hand cannon. Yes, sir. Look at this bad boy. Hand cannon. Yeah. Yep, all the Cobra officers came with a hand cannon. It was pretty cool. We got a cool gamer in the house and a Jess Laws. Hey, cool gamer. Hope you're doing well tonight. Let me know if the music is too loud. But comparatively, the update, I think the only thing they could have done better on the update is I love the way they did the helmet. And the Cobra officer badge is on the side there instead of on his helmet. But they're right there. The Cobra sigil, I think they could have done a little better, but they put it on the black background. It dulls it, makes it a little harder to see. But other than that, it's pretty good. And they also, let me take the helmet off so you can get a better look here maybe. They made him an African American, which I thought was pretty cool too. This version, I wish they'd have come with two heads so you could have whichever one you wanted, but you know, such is life. And then we've got this. Oh, look at that, a gung ho cameo. Whoa. Okay, we got Stinger Jeep for you to look at for the classified. Look at this big old bad boy. And we've taken a look at the vamp, and it's pretty much the same. Hey, it's good to see you, cool gamer. But it comes with a working winch. This is like a ram, but it's like teeth instead. I don't know why they did that. This pops off really easy. But so did the lights on the vamp. I don't really like that type of accessory. As the shovel, it's basically the same mold. The shovel comes off. It has reflective side mirrors, which I think is pretty cool. And the doors just pop open. These actually come off. And then later on, I got a video that I'm going to be showing you that features this a little bit, and you'll see the doors off. Plus, if I don't knock something else down, the windshield pops down, which I thought was a cool addition to the vamp as well. But yeah, the top this roof comes off, and these doors just pop open like that. And like I said, I did a really good video on the vamp, and it's not much different. The interior is pretty much the same. I mean, there are a few subtle differences. I mean, like the fire extinguisher back there. I don't know. Get that in the shot. There it is. The little yellow fire extinguisher. It's right there. It's the same thing. It's just the one on the vamp is red. Hello, Butt Files. Welcome. I'm in the middle of a Joe take, and we'll get to some Veterans Day salutes here in a little bit. If you are a veteran, let me know in the chat, and I will shout you out. And we appreciate your service. That is for sure. We like the military around here. So anyway, the other difference is it has a tow hook on the back, so you can attach like a missile launcher like that one there, and then I've got my other one up there for the Cobras. I have both. I have the green missile launcher for GI Joe, the MMS, and the HMS for Cobra, which is the same thing. Just one's black with red missiles, and the other one's green with black and green missiles. But it also comes with this accessory that pops onto the back and you can come off. But there are little pegs for the characters to stand on. And there you go. Thanks. And I love the Stinger version of the vamp. I love it more than the vamp. This is one of my favorite Jeeps. Now my favorite Jeep is the Vamp Mark 6, I think it is. It came out with the the Rise of Cobra vamp. Or Pursuit of Cobra, and it was pretty awesome. Let me set this over here. Now, what I want to show you before I put this away is that it came with these accessories that simulated like explosions in the distance. Wow, kaboom, kaboom. Same ones that came with scrap iron, and I don't think I've done a scrap iron video no take yet, but I will. And then they're like little clouds. You put them on the ground, and the little explosion bits coming up. And it looks okay. I didn't really care for it with scrap iron either. Now, this is pretty cool, though, because let me take one of these missiles off the Stinger here, if I can take it off really easy. You take a better look at the missiles anyway. This just pops in the back to make it look like it's firing, right? And it has a short one, and they have a long one. Now, this same, like I said, this came with the same setup as Scrap Iron. Scrap Iron only had 2 missiles though, so that was fine for that. But it only came with these 2 accessories again, and the Stinger has 4 missiles, so you can only be launching up to 2 missiles at a time. And I will demonstrate. I wish they would have just popped in 2 more of these things to make it go with the full deal there. See if I can pop that around, and yeah, the forks came off again. This one said it comes off really easy, and the missiles, just like with the Vamp, they have a bad. It's not really bad. It's just the connector for this is so dinky that you pop it on, and it comes right off all the time. So I'm gonna have a fun time putting these missiles back on later, but I will not be putting it back in there with these, which made it heavy and made it fall off. But if they'd have had 2 more, then you could have made all 4 missiles look like they were flying. So I will get back to that. Put those away later. But any questions about the Stinger and its driver? Because I always just called him Stinger. I thought this was a really cool Cobra Officer update, but it's actually a Cobra Trooper with the Cobra Officer gear. There's even an extra magazine for his AK-47 style gun, which for some reason they gave to Sergeant Slaughter too. Those little explosion things are funny. Yeah, they are. They're kind of funny. They're okay. Like I said, they're just. I mean, in some instances with good photography, you might be able to make them look like an explosion. But I mean, look at this. What even is that? I mean, it's kind of neat, but then kind of not. These ones are better, but still. I mean, they look like alien trees or some crap, But anyway, they just go right back in the footlocker. I love these footlockers for these characters. Mutt didn't have one because they went back to the window packaging and did not give Mutt one. So we'll put all these back in here so I know where they are. And we'll set them off to the side. So that's Cobra Night Attack, Stinger and Driver, 4-wheel drive Stinger. Awesome vehicle, awesome character. But that's my update to the Cobra Officer. Is just cheap. Now we're going to get into some doggos. You guys want to see some doggos? Because I got doggos. Now, of course, I'm going to go backwards here in time a little bit because the last dog that they brought out for G.I. Joe was with a character that came out in 2003 called Widescope. And he was a SWAT trooper. And he's a pretty cool little character. I don't know if I'll ever do a Joe take on him. Most people don't even know who he is. And he came with a dog called the Mutt, which is a pretty cool looking, different style of dog. And I thought this was one of the better ones they came out with. I mean, because look, he's even got like white on his head. His eyes are blue and that white stripe. This was a cool looking dog. And they just never did anything else with Widescope and his dog, Lamont. So this is Widescope and Lamont. And that was the last different dog they came out with for the G.I. Joe, technically vintage line, but they came out in the 2000s. So it was part of the... I'm not sure whether it was part of Valor versus Venom or Spike Troops. I think it was Valor versus Venom. But that was in 2003. Now, they came out with a lot of versions of this other character that has a doggo too. He was the MP in K9, and I've got a classified version I can show you for this particular character too, and I will because I want to show off the doggo. But it was Law and his dog Order. So we got a German Shepherd, or it was a Belgian. Let me see. I think Ben was telling me about this earlier. A Belgian Malinois. It's French, I think. Malinois. But Malinois. But it's like Laminlouis or something like that. And they use those instead of German Shepherds now because they're better dogs for this trade. So this, I'm pretty sure they said it was a German Shepherd though. But the common one is that one. But before we get to our stars of this episode, Mutt and Junkyard, I will show you just real quick the updated Law, which was pretty cool, and I will do a full Joe take on him eventually, because he's a cool character. But I got to show you with his doggo too. Sorry. Now he came with this. You can take this off, but it's not easy, and it's like the night vision goggles and everything for the dog, so it's kind of cool. Malinois, yes, exactly right, Jess. Yeah, so yes, if in future he probably would, instead of a German Shepherd, have that breed of dog, because back then they used German Shepherds, and they use these more now. But let me show you him and his dog together, and he doesn't have a strap like on the original because he has the harness. And when they're in the harness, they behave, and they do have leashes that can go with them. But with the military dogs, they generally don't need them. Now, each of these characters, both Mutt and Law, came with a bunch of extra hands. I'll be showing those off to you in a minute because I'll have to take them out of the package, but I don't want to lose them. Hello, Dynamodel. Welcome in. It's nice to see you. I hope you're enjoying it. I do a lot of G.I. Joe takes, and I love G.I. Joe. So if you're interested in G.I. Joe, I give a lot of G.I. Joe information out and show off a lot of figures. All right, so that is going to take us back in time to the very first year they brought out a doggo in G.I. Joe. And that was 1984 with my Mutt figure. Now, full disclosure, I had to repair Mutt's arm, and I had to use, for this figure, I had to use a Dreadnought arm from Thrasher, upper arm, to fix it because this got all thrashed and broken up. So here is the original Mutt in Junkyard. Now he has, I do have the gloved lower arm that I attached to the arm, and I managed to get that, and it's a good piece. But I actually think that's from the Slaughter's Marauders version, which they have a Slaughter's Marauders version of Mutt. I'm pretty sure. No, not yet. But they should. They should get one. So they have a Spirit. They don't have Mutt in yet. So maybe they'll do a Mutt and Footloose pack, because I think that's all that's left of Slaughter's Marauders from the original. And he came with an Uzi. Well, this isn't his original Uzi. This is the Uzi that came with the Snake Eyes. He just came with a standard submachine gun Uzi. So it was pretty cool. But that's going to take us to the 25th anniversary version of Mutt. And I had this character on card, but for some reason I cannot find my carded version of this character anywhere. And I don't know why. I got all my carded figures, and that one, poof. But we did a lot of moving and stuff around, so I might have put him in a bin in storage. But I do have a 25th anniversary carded version of this character too. I love how the battle stands said their names. I don't know if you can read that, but that does say Mutt in Junkyard. Code name Mutt in Junkyard is what that says. Maybe I'll get a little closer. Anyway, this is a good version of Junkyard, and I'm gonna detach the collar here, the cord from these guys, so I can show you the doggos side by side. I mean, look at the size difference. This is a Rottweiler. Okay, Junkyard was a Rottweiler. They originally had him looked like a Doberman, but he was supposed to be a Rottweiler. So the update fixed that. And I got all this information from my kid who has been a dog groomer and trains dogs. So the little hand signs, I really don't know them. I tried to look them up, but just kind of weird. Yeah, originally he came with a muzzle. My original Mutt, I don't have that accessory, but this one does, and he's got the mustache and all that. And I'm going to play with this a little bit because I wanted to do something with my Flint video. I couldn't, but when I found my a Flint figure that is special, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. It was open. It was a carded figure, but it popped open, and so it's no longer attached to the card. The glue came loose or something, and so I have it out. So I'm gonna be doing a little experiment here in just a minute with that figure. So I'll keep my doggo over here with me. Okay. So let me set that over here for that little special bit. But here we go. All right, number 113 in the series. Finally, Mutt in Junkyard. I had to make a little blanket for the porch for Maisie. She likes it. Oh, that's cool, because it's cold there right now in Florida. But see, there's all the hands. And I will, unless you guys don't like it, because Junkyard comes with a mean face and a happy face, but I like the happy face. I'm blanking for it. All right, let me get a drink here. I'm talking a lot, but I'm enjoying this one. I think canines are often overlooked as veterans, and I thought for the Veterans Day salute this year I would do that. Next year I'm probably going to do a tribute to my sister-in-law who served in the Air Force, like I've done with other family members in the past, which I will show those videos tonight too. But there he is, both of them, Mutt and Junkyard, in their glory. Roar. Very cool. There's his mean face. You know, all these little accessories, I don't want to lose him. He's got his muzzle in there, and he's got a smaller set of goggles, one for over the helmet and then one that he can wear. And in the video at the end, the On Joe Takes video I'll show you, I cover all that. So I do not cover all the little hand signals though. But like I said, I'm not really sure what a lot of them mean. I know like fist is like sit, and then there's this one like heel, and then come to me. There's one that's come to me, and and some of them are just extra hands. But I like the gun hands so that he can hold his guns and all his accessories. But very cool. Definitely a deluxe character, and I was happy to pay the extra for this one when it first came out. I was looking forward to Junkyard, Mutt and Junkyard, and then Alpine, because I did a Brothers in Arms with the two of them, and I was thinking about playing that, but I already did that in the Alpine video, so because I did an Alpine video at the beginning of the year, so rounding out the year with Alpine and now Mutt. Okay, now he comes with a nightstick like the original, but I don't have mine for the original. I did for the 25th anniversary. He does have a sidearm, but he does not have a combat knife. However, the nightstick makes up for that because that is his handheld weapon. So if they have a sidearm and a handheld weapon, I'm happy with that. Now, for some reason, they gave him a standard machine gun, M16 style. The magazine does come out. I don't like to do that because you weaken the plastic and then they just pop out all the time. I am having fun with it though. And his pistol comes out really easy. It's just a standard little 9mm Beretta style, or it could even be a 44. But it's a standard automatic pistol, sidearm that most Joes come with. And I wish they'd have had him come with an Uzi like the original, but they didn't. So that's okay though, because he has a machine gun. And then you got the boy, man, with his happy face, with his happy doggo face. And yeah, I'm not a big dog guy, but I love my toy doggos. So, I mean, we've got a dog. We got Hotch, and he's a service dog too. So we're going to be saluting him a little bit tonight too. He's been trained as a service dog, and he's official. So yeah, there's Ben. My kid Ben's got paperwork and all that stuff. They know how to train dogs. I wish they would do it professionally because they're really good at it. But this Rottweiler came out really good. Now the AI in the music video kept giving him tails and pointed ears, and it's like, that's not what that dog looks like. And this is a specific type of Rottweiler that is, there are so many breeds. So there you go. Good doggo. And there they are together. Mutt and Junkyard together. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to compare the vintage Mutt to the classified Mutt. Now he had a molded on sidearm. He did come with a nightstick, and he did come with the M16. Now that's not the original helmet either. I got that from the accessory pack. His original helmet's black. You don't have to feed or walk toy dogs. You got that right. You got that right. But I thought they did a really good update on him both times. I mean, look at that from the 25th anniversary. And if I can do this, whoa! I can show them all three at once. The original vintage 3 3/4, the 4-inch for the 25th anniversary, and now the 6-inch classified version. So I do have an example of all of them, so that I thought that was pretty cool. I wanted to show you guys all of that. Now let's have some fun. In the animated movie, the second animated movie from Sunbow, the G.I. Joe cartoon, which we'll be talking about a little bit, and we'll be talking about the comics just a little bit. Because, Mutt and Junkyard really wasn't big in the comics, and I need to make sure that I have the cover for this, so I'll have to backtrack and load some videos up a little later from somewhere else because I was supposed to have done this before. I forgot to bring that up, the cover of his first appearance from Marvel Comics. But I did have this carded character of Flint in Cobra Disguise. Now, in Revenge of Cobra, Flint and Mutt jumped into a Cobra Disguise like this and were together after they had all got separated from the Joes. And so what I always wanted was to buy an extra one of these and put Mutt's head on it. But since I didn't have an extra one, you know, or an extra Mutt, which I need to do, I was going to put it. So this is my carded example. I do have one out of Flint. So I could, and I will, and he just came with a standard Cobra gun and a battle stand. And now this figure's going to be out now. So it's not really an unboxing because it popped open, but I've never taken him out of the package before. So he is a standard Cobra Trooper in every sense except for his rolled up sleeves and his head like they were rolled up in the Revenge of Cobra movie. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to take Mutt's muzzle off over here on this helmet and his helmet, and I'm going to pop his head off because that you can do that with these figures now. And I will pop the Flint head off, and voila! We now have Mutt from Revenge of Cobra as a Cobra Trooper. How many animated movies are there? Well, the Sunbow series had 5, technically. They had the original one, Menace of the Mastobites, which they just called G.I. Joe Real American Hero. They renamed it. Second one was Revenge of Cobra. Third was Pyramid of Darkness when they started the TV series. The fourth one for the second season was Arise, Serpentor Arise. And then they had G.I. Joe the movie, which if you count that, they broke that down into 5 episodes to play on TV. They had 95 episodes originally, but with G.I. Joe the movie, that goes for an even 100 for Sunbow. And then they had a Deke series, but Mutt should have been in that, but wasn't because they did have a version of Mutt out at the time. So yes, there are those 5 animated movies. Then the Deke series had Operation Dragonfire, so that's 6. And then they came out with Spy Troops, the movie, 7. And then they had Valor vs. Venom, that's 8. And then they had G.I. Joe Resolute. So that's 8 that I can count. Not counting like Sigma 6 or any of that, or G.I. Joe Extreme or anything they may have done with that stuff. But yes, here is Mutt in his Cobra disguise. We'll pop his helmet on there and give him his doggo. There we go, because he was there, but off leash. All right, so I'm going to put the head back on and put these back. But yeah, they just pop off really easy, pop back on. And there he is, back on. Now, if I ever get an extra Mutt, if I can find one of these for pretty cheap, then I will. I'll do this later, but put these muzzle back on and stuff. But I'll put the Flint head back on the Flint body, and there you go. So that'd be the way to do it. Just get an extra one of these, like I apparently have now. I had it as carded, but now it's not. So I get an extra Mutt now. I will have me a Mutt and Flint, and I will take some pictures. That would be cool because that was a neat part in Revenge of Cobra. Okay, so that is the figures, and we're rocking into this. It's over a half hour. We're doing good. We still haven't got to the character yet, but in order to start the character, we need to tell you who the character is. The way we do that on this show, so I'm going to mute this because I'm tired of hearing it in the background, which you can't hear, but I had something else going on. I'm going to show you the Stinger file card so you know the character of Stinger and some of my additions to this particular character. And then Mutt and Junkyard. So let's check out the file cards. If it'll play.
G.I. Joe is the code name for America's daring, highly trained special mission force. Its purpose, to defend human freedom against Cobra, a ruthless terrorist organization determined to rule the world. Cobra Motor Brigade leader, Neo Viper leader, file name. Buford O. Jackson, birthplace, Charleston, South Carolina. Primary specialty, fast attack armored vehicle driver. Secondary specialty, ordnance, demolitions, and EOD. AKA Stinger Officer, or Major Stinger. This Cobra officer was the original driver and leader of Cobra's fast attack force. Having grown up in the South, Jackson was exposed to hatred firsthand. Oddly enough, he doesn't have a prejudiced bone in his body and believes that people should be judged by merit like Night Adder. He was in the first graduating class of Cobra officers and has always served by his side. Stinger is not an ambitious person per se and is content to serve even though his leadership capabilities are on par with Night Adder himself. And when called upon to lead, he's done so with distinction. For a time, he even led Cobra's armada of stuns, but when Cobra Commander created Neo Vipers, it was old Stinger that both he and Night Adder agreed should lead them totally mean. Completely obedient to Cobra Commander and Night Adder and willing to betray anyone else to get ahead. He trains the Neo Vipers in all forms of combat and has them ready to deploy on missions at a moment's notice. Like a scorpion, I stalk my prey and strike them from a distance. And I train my Neo Viper troops to be just like me. Mean and rotten right down to the soles of their boots. G.I. Joe is the code name for America's daring, highly trained special mission force. Its purpose, to defend human freedom against Cobra, a ruthless terrorist organization determined to rule the world. Yo Joe. Code name Mutt and Junkyard. Dog handler and attack dog. File name Stanley R. Perlmutter. Grade E6 Staff Sergeant, U.S. Army. Birthplace Iselin, New Jersey. Specialty, dog handler, animal control, utilization technician, K9 officer. Secondary specialty, infantry culvert operations specialist. Graduated jungle warfare training school, special ops school. Mutt is a natural with animals and treats them with respect. He likes them and they like him. He considers them intelligent comrades and valuable team members. The problem is that he gets along better with dogs than he does with humans. He's just as capable of fighting in a steaming jungle as standing guard duty on post and has been an advisor to the Security and Enforcement Committee. He and his K9 dog Junkyard have worked together so long, they no longer need to give each other audible or visual signals. It's almost as if they function as one organism. On undercover operations, Junkyard sniffs out contraband substances and sets up the bad guys so Mutt can capture them. If the bad guys decide to put up a fight, they'd better be prepared to deal with a growling, snarling beast. And after that, they'll have to contend with the dog! From General Hawk's file. If you're sitting next to Mutt in the mess hall, don't try filching anything from his tray. He might bite your leg off. His dog is much more polite. Somebody
Somebody has to put an end to the nefarious activities of Cobra and Junkyard, and I want to be the first in line to do it!
So that's who the characters are. Get some music going on again. Now, we'll talk a little bit of cartoon. They never had the Stinger driver in the cartoon or the comic book, so we don't have to really talk about that. They had the Stinger all the time. But the gray Stinger driver officer, they never had it. They have examples. They always just assume that if there was a Cobra in there, he was a Stinger driver, but they never colored one gray as far as I could tell or find, and definitely didn't make a cover appearance. And neither did Mutt and Junkyard, ironically. However, Mutt's first appearance was G.I. Joe 25, which was also part of the big bit with Zartan and his first appearance, and a lot of cool stuff going on. And I love this cover, but Mutt and Junkyard aren't on it. It is their first appearance. So that is the first appearance in the comics. Now, they had a bit in the cartoon where, like, the Revenge of Cobra, right out of the gate, Flint and Mutt were together, and Flint came out early for some reason in the Revenge of Cobra movie. But they were with Roadblock. Roadblock got trapped in this pit, and they escaped together. And Roadblock sacrificed himself to help them get away. And he got away later, too. But so it was Mutt and Junkyard with Flint on their own. And they disguised themselves as Cobra troopers, and they were stuck in like a Cobra town, and that's where they met Shipwreck. And it was a pretty cool bit on Revenge of Cobra. And then they got back, and Flint took back over charge of G.I. Joe, because naturally Duke was a prisoner of Cobra the whole movie. But Flint was my boy, and he took charge again. And ironically enough, Scarlet and Lady Jane kind of took the leadership role without him being there. And then in one scene, Doc stepped up to be the leader of G.I. Joe in that Revenge of Cobra movie. It was pretty cool. They didn't say it; he just did it. But he was the highest rank. He was the highest ranking Joe at the time. There, he was a captain. So, anyway, in Pyramid of Darkness, Mutt and Junkyard didn't have a really big role. They were there, and after that, but they did have. After that, they weren't really. They had a scene in Rise, Serpento Rise, where they found Beachhead and Mainframe stuck in a Dracula's crypt, and they helped dig them out. But they were there. They were a part of it, and there was a joke later on. Beachhead was saying how they met Serpentor. He was meaner than a Junkyard dog, and he said, "No offense, Mutt." It was pretty funny. But other than that, they didn't really do much with Mutt and Junkyard after that. But in the first season, they had Mutt and Junkyard, and there were several episodes. One was Cobra's Creatures that really, really stands out in my head, where Cobra took over all the animals of the world and forced them to be their soldiers, their foot soldiers, and they were taking over the world by just putting animals everywhere. And that was a brilliant idea, but also, not very practical if you think about it. But that's where we're at with that. And but Junkyard got taken over too, and there was a touching part where him and Junkyard fought in the swamps. And then the other Joes broke the control, and him and Junkyard became buddies again. So it was touching. Trying to think of some other standout cartoon episodes with Mutt and Junkyard, but him and Spirit were good friends in the comics, not really in the cartoon. In the comics, in the very first part, that one, the 25. Junkyard led them all on a merry chase, and they thought that he was leading them into be prisoners of Cobra, but he ended up turning the tables on Cobra and being a good dog. So it was an interesting scene. I'm not sure if Larry Hama was really into writing with the dog. Later on, he had a few scenes with him and Spirit, and throughout the comics, he was there, but not a major role. Same in the cartoon. He was there on guard duty most of the time. G.I. Joe the movie, they had him on guard duty. They missed their opportunity to have him with Law and Order. Have you seen The Days of Animals? Leslie Nielsen plays sort of a bad guy. I think so. It's an older movie, but yeah, maybe, Jess. Maybe I have. It sounds familiar now that you're saying it with Leslie Nielsen. I watched a lot of Leslie Nielsen stuff. He was awesome, both as a dramatic actor and a comedic actor. We got a Purr in the house. Hello, Purr. I'm glad you're still here, cool gamer. It's nice to see everybody. Hope you guys are enjoying my take on Veterans Day. This is my salute, and I've got some stuff for that. And then near the end of the show, we're going to be still going to be doing the 1984 checklist of who they need and classified from that year of G.I. Joe. So we're doing that too, because last month we did 82, 83 combined, because they kind of redid that anyway as one big year. So I've shown all that stuff. I've talked about the comics. I've talked about the cartoon. Now, Mutt did actually get into, he was in the Deke series, and he was part of Slaughter's Marauders. So he was a member of Slaughter's Marauders in Operation Dragonfire, and then they had 2 seasons. And he had a new version there, but they never used that. I think maybe the DEF on one episode, but not really something I got into. I own it, but I've watched it like once or twice. Some of the episodes were cool, and I love the intro to the series of the Deke series, but the cartoons were just second rate, and our writing was very cartoony for kids and not, and even for teenagers, like it was, like the Sunbow series was. The Sunbow series was awesome, and I recommend that to anybody who's a G.I. Joe fan. If you haven't seen it, watch it. And Mutt wasn't in any of the movies yet. That would be nice, Mutt and Junkyard. But before we move on, one last look at the stars of our episode here. Stinger, Driver, and the Stinger Jeep. I haven't put the missiles back on yet, but there they are over there. They're on the table. And we've got some stuff to look at tonight, but there's Stinger and Driver. Naturally, I need to drink again. I'm talking a lot tonight. Slaughter's Marauders is such a cool name. In the classified series, they call them the Mad Marauders for some reason. But the team is also led by Sergeant Smasher, which is the UK version of Sergeant Slaughter. But it was kind of weird, because in a convention they made a different guy in America called Sergeant Smasher that took his place as the leader of the Marauders, and he was a black sergeant, an African American sergeant. Sorry, Anal Marauder. No, I did not say that, Jess. Jess, look what you did. I blame you, Jess. I blame you. Yes, ooh. But here's our main stars. And I showed off an awful lot of doggos earlier, so check it out earlier if you want to see it in the replay. I have Order. I have the original 2 Junkyards from the vintage and the 25th anniversary that I showed. And Lamont with wide scope. I showed all those doggos. So, but here's our main character tonight, our canine Veterans Day salute to our canines. And I will play that 15-second clip again. I think I might could before I do all this other stuff, but let me make sure that I have it ready to go. I don't have it loaded up. I should have left it loaded up, but I'm so efficient sometimes that I delete stuff too fast. And where did there it is? Okay, I put it here, and this is the okay. All right, so I got that loaded up, so I'll be able to play that again. I played the file cards. I've got the on Joe Takes I'll play later, and some music videos for Veterans Day, and then I'll take us out with our outro like normal. But before we get to that, this is our Veterans Day salute, and I'm going to start with what I always start with, but with the Veterans Day salutes. But before I get to that, I wanted to show you guys this and wish my sister, Sins' mom, Jay Sins, who's in Military Action Game and provides a lot of music from Never Stop Us for us. This is not really what she looks like. This is what she would look like if she was military, and if she played Scarlet, if she was in a movie playing Scarlet. And she does the voice of Scarlet, Lady Bloodright, and I will be playing the final clip of Lady Bloodright later on tonight, as she has prominently featured her voice, and it's a Veterans Day video too. So there's that one. And so that may give my take on Mutt and Junkyard, because I almost forgot, because I got so much going on today. But Stinger, Driver, they're just Cobra Troopers. I mean, I've added to the Stinger character a lot, and you can check out the file card. And Neo Viper Commander, you can check out that file card too. I do have that character somewhere, but I got so much stuff. Those drawers over there are just loaded with figures, and I've been looking. I've been really trying to get everything together for this video because there's a lot now. But Mutt and Junkyard, my take is that they are in a squad with Spirit and Freedom, the Eagle, and the G.I. Joe Tracker. They're best friends. Also with Ripcord, and some of the other guys that came out that year. Blowtorch would be in their squad, and their squad leader would be Spirit. So there's your four right there. Mutt, Junkyard, Spirit, and Ripcord. And so that's a fire team. That would be their fire team. The final scene is the movie finished. No. I meant that I filmed. Scene 10, the last one that I filmed. I still have to film the finale for Lady Bloodright to be finished, and I'm going to be doing that within the next couple of months when I have time. But it's a time-consuming project, and I still have everything out for it, but I haven't gotten back to it because I've been sick and things have happened in life. Life happened. I mean, I took a break and maybe I shouldn't have. I probably could have finished it. But I was way tired and burned out on it. But we are going to start this by looking at a flag for a fallen soldier. He didn't fall in battle. He actually lived a long, healthy life, and we are happy for that. My wife's Uncle John, my uncle too, such a cool guy. Loved him. He's a great guy, and I honor him every day by taking care of his niece, who was like his daughter. So you took a break that you needed. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Try my best to do lines for you. I don't have your lines yet for Zorana or Viper. I got my purse lines for Copperhead. Yes, thank you, Uncle John. And this is our Uncle John. He got cancer while he was in Vietnam. He fought it his whole life. He was a very strong cancer survivor. It went into remission several times and kept coming back, and he kept fighting it off until his wife passed before he did, and then he left us shortly after that. Yes, and he was a medic in Vietnam, so he was a combat medic, and he used a shotgun, even though he wasn't supposed to. They would put him on the shotgun, and he would cover their backs and patch him up. And he left the service as a sergeant. So, shout out to Sergeant John Schumann. So that is our Uncle John. I like to say our because he was my uncle too. Just like my wife's mom is my another mom. We are a really close-knit family, and I talked to her tonight, and I wished her, I thanked her because she helped out with Miss Mama Sins' birthday tonight because I don't get paid till Thursday or Friday. Well, with little payments I get. Got little things going on. Good man, good soldier. Yes, he was. And he took really good care of his niece and me, and he would come to game. He would game with us and hung out with us almost every week. And every week he would bring sodas, and sometimes he'd buy pizza. And he was just an awesome friend and my uncle. And I miss him dearly. Let me take a minute there. Scarlet, the one you didn't have a voice for, but your sister did her, so no. Lady J's the one I don't have a voice for. Tiger is probably going to do Lady J's voice because Lady J and Baroness sound a lot alike, and Tiger does a great Baroness. I remember you bragging on him, and it sounds like he deserves every moment of it. He does. He was a cool guy. Now, I have another. I'm going to play a video for you because we have another veteran that I did a video for. Next year, I'm going to do a video for, my sister-in-law who served in the Air Force, and my Uncle Neil served in the Navy, so I'll eventually be doing a video for him too. I wanted to do one for him this year, but I did not have the time. That's why I did this canine bit. And for those of you who just turned in, I have a 15-second clip for, if I did it right, yes, here it is, for our canine doggos, and I'll play it again for them, and then I'll play for my salute to Bud. So here you go.
There you go, buddy, for your service.
Good boy.
That's it, not a boy.
Now I was going to do several little Sora clips because Sora did, but it nailed it right out of the gate, first try. I didn't need anything else, and I was like, no, that's perfect, very cool. Yes, exactly. And that will be up on the channel in just a few minutes for anybody who wants to watch it, who's not watching here. And we are simulcasting. I forgot to mention that. We are on the Logan the G.I. Joe Gamer channel and From the Hilt, but the main chat's over here on From the Hilt. So if you're over there, jump over here. I do have a pinned description on that. Military working canines are soldiers too. Yes, sir. Yes, they are. Yes, sir. And our biggest veteran. Now, my uncle went into like covered ops and stuff and did computers for the Navy. So I do want to do a really good video for him, not image file. I want to do a video file. And here is my Veterans Day to salute to my wife's great-grandfather, Commander Bud. And you'll see why, his full name, everything in this video. And I thought the AI did a really good job on this, and it was something I experimented with just last year, and it turned out really good. So here is a salute to Bud, sung by Brad Gambison, my AI personality.
But stood tall on the open sea, guiding the way for you and me. Through the storms and the endless fight, he navigated through the darkest nights. On the USS Eversoul's deck, he kept the course without a wreck. World War II and Korea's tide, but was our unwavering guide. Salute to Bud, a hero strong. His legacy will carry on with a heart of steel and eyes so bright. He led us through the darkest night. Oceans vast and battles long, Bud's will kept him ever strong. Through the anguish and the pain, he brought us safely home again. In the heart of the raging storm, he stood steadfast, kept us warm. His bravery we won't forget. Commander Bud, our hearts are set. Salute to Bud, a hero strong. His legacy will carry on with a heart of steel and eyes so bright. He led us through the darkest night. Strong, his legacy will carry on with a heart of steel and eyes so bright. He led us through the darkest night. He led us through the darkest night. He led us through the darkest night. In the heart of the raging storm, he stood steadfast, kept us warm. His bravery we won't forget. Commander Bud, our hearts are set. In the heart of the raging storm, he stood steadfast, kept us warm. His bravery we won't forget. Commander Bud, our hearts are set. Salute to Bud, a hero strong. His legacy will carry on with a heart of steel and eyes so bright. He led us through the darkest night. In the heart of a raging storm, he stood steadfast, kept us warm. His bravery we won't forget. Commander Bud, our hearts are set. Commander Tyrus Bud Carroll Chapman, 1917 to 1986. Born in Boca, Texas, September 9, 1917. Died July 21, 1986. Served with distinction in both World War II and the Korean War. He was also presented a table by General Chang of the Chinese Army.
Were they military, Jess? Where am I? All right. Were they military, Jess? If they were, shout out to John, and Fonzo. Mom, dad. Yeah, shout out to all our veterans. And, you know, I'm a great admirer of the military, and I honor our veterans. At least I attempt to. You know, without whom we would not have the freedoms that we share today. And a lot of people overlook that and don't exactly respect that in some way. And you know, it's okay. We're Americans. We can do things how we want, and that's just part of being American. They gave us that right to make those choices, so we have to respect other people's choices too. Grandfather in World War II, dad Vietnam. My family, we have a lot of veterans in my family, just none in my immediate family. I wanted to serve, but I was 4F, meaning I was medically unable to serve. Or I would have. I would probably have been a Navy. I would have probably been in the Navy. I love, you know, I love the water. I don't like the shore, but I love the water. No idea where my mom's dad's name came from. No, you know, that's genealogy. You look into that. That's great. It can be fun to do and very fascinating. But like I said, my Uncle Neil, he was in the Navy. I want to get all the proper stuff and do a proper video for him. He's been a great supporter in my life, and his younger brother, both my uncles on my mom's side, have been almost like brothers to us. You know, they were like barely. The youngest was barely 2 years older than my oldest brother, so we just kind of kept them going in the family on that side. And yeah, he served with distinction. I have two nephews that have served in the military. Joey. My sister Sonia's boy, he was in the Air Force, and my brother's son Bo he was Army, and he was training to be a sniper but didn't like it, so he ended up doing other stuff, and now he's out with an honorable discharge and doing his life, you know, doing his thing. So yeah, we are a military family in a lot of ways, and in other ways, my immediate family not so much, but. I do love G.I. Joe. I love the military. I love what they do for us. And as much as I give salutes and everything, I'm a civilian, so there's the proper salute, my friends. Okay. And that's my Veterans Day salute. I do have a little bit more of another video I'll play near the end. That's just for fun. As we sign off, you know, I will sign off that way right before the outro. But I do have an On Joe Takes video I want to share with you, and then I've got another video, couple music videos for you. So we got a ways to go here, but I'm gonna play this On Joe Takes so we can kind of wrap this up for Mutt, Junkyard, and then the Stinger driver and the Stinger, and then I am gonna go over the checklist of what we need for 1984 in the classified line from the original 1984 Joes. And then, like I said, I have a couple music videos for you that are definitely military orientated, and another Veterans Day salute. And then I'll take us out with the outro. But before all that, and I'm plenty of talking, and I'll answer questions and we can chat. And I'm going to hang out for a bit. It's my sister's birthday. But we're waiting on an order so that she can have her cake and ice cream. We'll have her cake and eat it too today. And she's had dinner made for her, and we've been taking care of her because we love our mama sins. And I will play her video too right before we go. So I'm doing that too. There's a lot going on. So the video for her, for Scarlett, where she portrays Scarlett very well, and you guys will see what I mean. She does a great job. All right, but for right now, let's check out On Joe Takes 73. And these great figures that we've been looking at today, Mutt, Junkyard, Stinger, and Driver.
Some folks go with a squad. Some go with orders. Me? I go with my partner. 4 paws, sharp eyes, steady heart. And that's enough. Dust on the boots, wind in the wires, hear an engine humming low like buried fire. Junkyard at my knee, eyes burning bright. We move like a whisper through the falling light. No words spoken, no signal sign. It reads my steps, I read a spine. Two shadows crossing where the headlights roam. When we're on the move, I ain't never alone. And I know what waits out there. Steel dust and a man in a cold driver's chair. But I've lived enough to understand, loyalty ain't issued, you earn that man. But in Junkyard, steady on the field, loyal hearts moving with a purpose revealed. Stinger and his driver with a scorpion's heel. Fast strike waiting on the turn of a wheel. No glory, just grit and the strength we feel. Loyal hearts rolling steel. He sits in that Jeep with a helmet of steel. Hands cold on the wheel, but he knows how to deal. Train real sharp, move clean and tight. A soldier, emotion in the edge of the light. I don't hate him, and he don't hate me. We're just set to collide where the dirt runs free. Two ways of living in the dust gray zone. But I move with a partner, he rides alone. We close the gap in the fading sun. No talk, no fear. We move as one. Hand on the strap, Junkyard leans low. Tail lights flare, we already know. No thought, just ground. I move, he moves, that's how we're bound. Mutt and Junkyard, steady on the field. Loyal hearts moving and they never yield. Stinger and his driver with a scorpion steel. One silent moment on the edge of the wheel. No glory, just grit and the ground we feel. Loyal hearts rolling steel. And the dust rolls on and the day stands still.
I like that song a lot. Loyal Hearts and Rolling Steel. That's the name of that song. I do have the music video, which should be out tonight, I'm pretty sure, a little bit later. And I did play the music video earlier, but let's jump into this checklist because I really, really want to get into this on this series so that we can end the show like that from now on. It's cool when that happens. Maybe it did read your mind. I don't know, Jess. Sometimes it does, and a lot of times it just makes me mad. I got lots of good music to play tonight. Got some salute tribute music and some music just for Mutt and Junkyard. But if you guys are enjoying that, okay. So I got the K9 salute going right now. Now we don't have to cover Stinger. We know that they have a Stinger driver because we've looked at them tonight. All right. We also know that they have Mutt and Junkyard, so we don't need that. We got Mutt and Junkyard in the series. So alphabetically, we're going to start with G.I. Joe. And then we're going to work our way into the Cobras from 1984. Clutch. They had a different version of Clutch in 1984 that came with the Vamp Mark II. Now, I have the Vamp Mark II and this Clutch, and I've shown them off in the Clutch video. How I feel about it today? Yeah, I'm just mad at it today. The AI just don't want to work. But they do not have a classified version of this this colored grunt. I mean, Clutch. This Clutch actually came with the Vamp, same one. Same, but different in the green color scheme, and I have done a video on Clutch and covered all this. So they do not have the desert version of Clutch, is what I like to call it. The tan fatigues or beige fatigues for desert. Now, Blowtorch. They do have Blowtorch. I actually have Blowtorch up on the shelf right there on the corner. I don't know if you can really see it on the mantle there. Right there, that's Blowtorch. So he's out, and I will eventually do a video for him. Let me see, Vamp Mark II, I don't remember that Jeep. It was the tan one. It was the tan. Oh, I love it. It's down there on the bottom shelf for how to pull it up. I had to take Xanax so I wouldn't break my phone, even though it's not my fault this time. I get you. Man, it made me so mad today. I wanted to strangle it because it just would not render an image for me of my sister, which I didn't even want an image of what my sister looked like. I just wanted it as an example. And just, don't break your phone. Those are expensive. Hey, you got that right, Perp. All right, next up, and now we got Blowtorch out of the way. Deep Six. And we need deep 6. We do not have deep 6. A shark, that would be very cool. And it's classified doable. It's not too big. That's smaller than the Vamp, actually. So, and the Ostriker. So they should do that. And they've done both of those. It's smaller than a Hiss, so they can be done. This one would probably never see because he came with the whale, the killer whale. I still want one of those. Oh, it's one of my favorite vehicles of G.I. Joe ever. I never got one. I've always wanted one. I'm probably never ever going to get one, but we'll see. You never know what life brings. But the classified version of Cutter would be nice if they brought out like a 2-pack with him like Torpedo or something. Let me see what you got. When I get a new one, I'm going to take a sledgehammer to that one. Yeah, I'm not a big phone guy either. I just don't like them. Yes, we need Cutter. We need Deep 6. So those two we do need. All right, next up, Recondo. Recondo, they have 2 versions of Recondo in the classified version. They have the Tiger Force one, which came out first, if I recall, and then the retro version. I have both. I use the retro version. He actually makes a brief cameo in the video I'm going to play tonight. So there's that. Let me see. Recondo is the man. Yes, sir. Now, a lot of people think that he's from Australia, but he's from Wheaton, Wisconsin. And there he is right there in black and white on the file card. I like to mention that a lot because the UK version of G.I. Joe Action Force, he was from Australia. So that's where they get the confusion. But the G.I. Joe version was from Wisconsin. I love it when his indigenous friendly sneak up on the Joes. That was so good. Yes, yes, in the comics. Oh, man, that was good. So you've got to that part. All right, Perv. All right, man. I love the G.I. Joe comic, man. All right. Next up, we got Ripcord. Now, we don't really have a Ripcord per se, but they do have the Action Pilot, which I happen to have right here in the 60th anniversary style for the classified series, and that's basically Ripcord right there. Oh, they do have a Night Force Ripcord in the classified, but we need a retro one. We need a cool one. We need a cool Ripcord. But it came with the Dragonfly, so it was like, hello, those of us who can't afford that, which I can't. I missed the Vamp. I'm not the Vamp. I missed the Hiss tank. I missed the Dragonfly, and now I missed the Snowcat. They all look awesome. So, but hopefully they'll bring out those characters in the retro figures. Ripcord is packing. Yes, the firearms that he comes with. Dude. I mean, this 60th anniversary series was just awesome. They got the Action Pilot Halo Jumper, which is basically Ripcord. Oh, well, they didn't. They got a Sniper, which was basically, they had a Caucasian head, they had a Latino head, and an African-American head. So you can make your Sniper who you want, but it was basically shooter. But I have a shooter. They have a shooter in the classified. This is basically a diver, not Torpedo, because I have Torpedo, but it had a lot of the same gear that Torpedo came with. So we got the Legacy series. Talking about our veterans tonight, so we're going to go a little bit off. And then the Desert Infantry guy, the Action Soldier Infantry. I have him out. He's part of the movie. So, and featured briefly in the video tonight, ironically. But yes, here's Blowtorch's box. So Blowtorch here, footloose there. But all right, let's continue on. We got Ripcord. So we do. There is a Ripcord in the classified series, and you can technically make one with the Halo Jumper. But it's one of those, they need a retro one or a boxed one. And there's the man right there. They have lots of Roadblocks. Roadblock was number 1. I mean, they had a 00, which was Snake Eyes. But the very number 1 classified figure that came out was a version of the 1986 style Roadblock with a bunch of modern stuff. And it was pretty cool, that one. Then they came out with a very different one that looked more like heavy duty than Roadblock for the Cobra Island Target exclusives, which turned into the Tiger Force. Roadblock doesn't play. He's terrific. Oh yeah. He also makes a brief cameo. Now they have several versions of Roadblock. Like they have those 2 that I mentioned. Then they had the heavy assault Roadblock, which was more like the original. But he came with the gun that came with the Ram instead of his Mod Deuce, like the classic. However, They did bring out a Tiger Force version of Roadblock, which he came with his mod dudes. So I have all 4 of them. Great figure. So they do have several classified Roadblocks. So we've got Roadblock. 2 versions of Spirit in the classified line. You've got the standard one that came out with a sniper rifle and a really cool Freedom where you can. It has wings that pop on and off where you can make them in flight or the wings down to the side. Very cool. Both versions of Freedom came that way. And they look like 2 different birds. So you could actually rename the second bird and make them your own. Just like the original Spirit, Slaughter's Marauders Spirit. So they have the Slaughter's Marauders version, well, Mad Marauders version of Spirit, who came with Lowlight. So they have a Lowlight in the classified too. But yeah, they have 2 versions of Lowlight in the classified now. Okay, so next we have that. Next up, Thunder. Now, Thunder came with, he was a driver, and he came with the Slugger. And I do have a version of Slugger, of Thunder, Thunder Wing, and he came with, I don't have the original Slugger. I never was able to get it. Talk about a character attuned with nature and his ancestors. Oh, yeah, Spirit and Mutt together. Oh, Spirit and Mutt's best friend. So we can mention Spirit all we want this episode. But Thunder was pretty cool. I loved him in the cartoon. He was awesome. I love the Slugger. I really want one. It's one of those other vehicles I never got because I really started collecting in '85, and in '84 I missed a lot of those vehicles. So yeah, they do not have a classified version. They probably will not bring out a classified version, but they did bring out a classified version of a Steeler recently with the short fuse. So who knows? So yeah, we're down to just 2 1982 guys that need to come out, and they're both the laser guys, Grand Slam and Flash. So I'm hoping they do a 2-pack with the Jump Jet and the HAL laser. That would be awesome. Listen up, classified Hasbro people, do the 2-pack right. Let's see, my least favorite uncle who I haven't seen in 20 years and he could be dead. Don't care, has a room under his stairs with all kinds of weapons and illegal shit. Dude, let's just tell on him, man. Just but yes, Thunder was cool. They need a Thunder in the classified, so that's one they don't have. I consider Tollbooth a 1984 character, even though he mainly came out in '85. He doesn't have the swivel neck, and he came out in '84 as a Sears exclusive. So I put him in with the 1984 Joes. With the bridge layer, which I have. I finally acquired one. I had a Tollbooth for a long time, but never had the bridge layer. I finally got a bridge layer to put with my Tollbooth. It was the Canadian version of the bridge layer, but I don't care. It's the same vehicle. It's awesome. It just has the Canada stickers. It's awesome, though. It's nice to have a Canadian vehicle, too. But Tollbooth, he had a construction hat and a military uniform, came with a sledgehammer. Awesome character. I would love to see this guy in the classified with the bridge layer, because I think they could do it. I think they could do this one. They might even be able to do the Slugger with Thunder. We'll see. But that's our Joes. So Thunder, Deep Six, Cutter. We really need those guys. And a better ripcord. All right. And if I missed anybody, let me know. Now we're going into the Cobras. This, to me, was the greatest year for Cobra ever. Now, for me, 1985 was the best year for G.I. Joe, but for Cobra, it was 1984. And you'll see why. Yes, very cool. Let me see. Somebody sent me a message. I'll look real quick. And it's Jake sending me more videos, of course, so I'll look at that later. He put some pretty funny stuff on our Discord. All right, we're going to kick it off alphabetically. Why is he up here? Because it's not alphabetically. I don't know if I actually had them alphabetized. Well, I'm going to alphabetize them right now because there's not too many of these. Okay, there they are now. Okay, so here it is. Baroness! Oh my goodness. This is one of my favorite Cobras. My top 3 Cobras came out in 1984. And all of these Cobras, with the exception of 2, are in my top 10. They have several versions of the Baroness in classified. 1984 was a magical year for both comics and music. Yes, it was, dude. The 80s just rocked. But yes, 83, 84, 85, some of the best years for toys and music and everything. But the Baroness, man, this gal, oh my goodness. Oh man, definitely my favorite lady in all of G.I. Joe. I made her my Cobra leader while Cobra Commander was ousted in my Lady Bloodright movie. She does not make an appearance in this clip I'm going to show tonight, but she will be in the finale, and she was in the intro, the preamble. What I like to call it. He was a mean, yes. But the Baroness, they had the original one that came number 13 came with a coil cycle, which was brand new and very cool. They were trying to do new stuff, and I thought they were doing good. But a lot of people didn't like it. They wanted all the original stuff. They brought out a retro Baroness. They have also brought out a Baroness that came with the Crimson Command team. I don't know what that means, Jess. P.O. $? You might have to clarify for me because I'm an old man. Sorry. Yeah, it costs a lot of money if that's what you're meaning. Yes, it does. But yeah, so they have Baroness in the line. They also had a movie version of Baroness. So they had 4 versions of Baroness in the classified. And I wouldn't mind seeing it. Oh, no, 5. One came with the Rattler. The Rattler was the other fucking HasLab that I couldn't get. It means, okay, yes, okay, I thank you for, I know, yes. BOS, okay. I got it. All right, and on that note, my friend. We got you covered. I believe she's referring to her least favorite uncle. Okay, I get you. It's all good. All right, so in 1984, they also came out with a mail-away figure. They had come out with one mail-away figure in the original year, which was the original helmeted Cobra Commander. Baroness, what a character. Yes, sir. Love the Baroness. But my favorite character in G.I. Joe, hands down, is a Cobra. Go back and forth between him and my favorite Joe, but yay, Cool Gamer, I'm glad you're still here, buddy, rocking with us. I hope you guys are having a good time. I'm just talking G.I. Joe and going 90 miles a minute today, but having fun, feeling good. I've got the right medicine in me right now, so I'm doing good. But in 83, they actually had two mail-away figures. First, Major Blood, who ended up coming out later on in the same year, carded. And then Duke, okay? Duke also came out in 84, carded, but he was a mail away in 83, so he was covered in our last video, and we have plenty of Dukes in the class. I am glad you're still with it. You can say that, yes. YouTube is stupid. But there you go. There's the man. In 1984, the mail away figure was the Hooded Cobra Commander, which I'm hearing rumors that we may get a Hooded Cobra Commander finally in the classified line. They do have several versions of Cobra Commander. They have a really nice one that they came out with 2 different modified outfits. The Regal variant, which was a lighter color, and then a darker blue Cobra Commander with a helmet. Awesome figure. Very early in the line, like 6 or 7, I think. I think it was 7. And the same number, but there was a Regal variant that had a lighter shade like the original Commander. The one that came out in the main line was a darker blue like the Hooded Cobra Commander, which everybody wanted a Hooded Cobra Commander. And then later on, they brought out the retro Cobra Commander with the Hiss tank, and then they brought it out in the stores. You could buy a retro. It was a little different for the Hiss tank version, but Leaf Cobra Commander and Starscream Transformers are voiced by the same actor. Nobody can do. Yeah, Chris Latta, yes sir, and Gung Ho Joe too. You can't forget Gung Ho Joe. I mean, Chris Latta, yes sir. Okay, so yes, they do need a Hooded Cobra Commander and classified, and they better get their shit together and do it right. Because man, that's my favorite Cobra right there. That was my first Cobra Commander. I mailed away. I got him. I had that one, but mine's all messed up, and I don't have him anymore. Yes. Same actor. That's why I can do Cobra Commander and Gung Ho, because they were voiced by the same guy. Yes, sir. He also did Steeler. Fun fact. And Snake, which was Cobra Commander in the Transformers too. Starscream, whatever. Yeah, Starscream, whatever. I like Starscream. He had a cool voice. All right, moving right along alphabetically. And they came out with quite a few vehicles for Cobra that year, too, that were really cool. To combat the killer well, they brought out a Cobra Moccasin, which was awesome. I love that boat. I have The original, I have two versions of the. I can't find my blue one, but I've got my Python Patrol version, and because Copperhead's the leader of the Python Patrol, but they do have two versions of Copperhead in the classified line, so he's covered. Per does the voice of him in Lady Bloodright at the beginning and the end, the preamble and the finale. So I've got all my voice work from Per. Awesome stuff. Thank you, Per. This is your character, your man, your boy, Copperhead. They have a regular Copperhead, and then they have a Python Patrol version. And he's my Python Patrol commander. So there we go. We got Copperhead. Yeah, well, I wish we had a water moccasin. That would be cool. You are, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I can't wait to put it all together. Okay, I left this guy out for some reason, and probably because I want to save him for the end, because there are two characters I want to talk about together. But alphabetically, I left somebody out, and if you know who it is, then you know. But they also came out with this boy right here, Scrap Iron. They do have a classified version that's really cool. And the missile system they have for him is like a mini remote piloted tank that has two missiles, and it came with those same accessories that came with the Stinger that I showed off tonight. Exact same, same color, everything. But that's pretty cool. And Scrap Iron was cool, and he has a voice in the video I'm doing tonight, so he's in it. Copperhead gets really big here. Yeah, I bet they do in Florida. So there is Scrap Iron, and they have a Scrap Iron in the classified, so we don't need him, but a different version would be cool. And then I've got my Fab 4 here that's coming up. Okay, I will do these last four alphabetically, but I will save my favorite of the four for last. He was my third favorite Cobra. I've already done Cobra Commander. Well, actually, it's my second favorite. Baroness. I go back and forth between Zartan and the Baroness, so it's hard to say, but Cobra Commander hands down is my favorite. All right, kicking it off with this boy right here, Firefly. Now, they have two versions of Firefly in the classified line. I have both. They had one that came out really early as a Cobra Island exclusive, and then they brought out a regular release one that looks more like the original. Very cool. Matched the original accessories, the second one. And I do have in Operation Dungeons and Disinformation, which I'm putting together, which was my first movie that I put together. That was originally the Operation Dungeon Siege, and I had another video from the Operation From the Hilt that I was putting together. And yes, there's a big scene that I've added to this with both Fireflies in the same scene, and you will find out why if and when we do that. I did play it on my Firefly video just recently in Firefly Reissued, so if you want to check that out, it's in there. Both Fireflies are in the video at the end. You have a BS degree in herpetology, snake biology science. I bet. All right, now we got this boy right here, Storm Shadow. Probably one of the coolest characters and pivotal characters in G.I. Joe ever. He was the first, he wasn't the first ninja, but the first one they called a ninja. Snake Eyes was technically the first ninja. But I loved it when they got together and became Ninja Brothers again. And I love that version of the storyline. But you have to check out my Storm Shadow video. I do have a reissued version of Storm Shadow 2. So you can check out the original or the reissued version. They had a Storm Shadow that came out as the Winter Operation Storm Shadow, which was basically the G.I. Joe version when he was in Ninja Force. Pretty cool. And they had a movie version, which was what they call a Milquetoast Storm Shadow. I liked it. Good figure, underrated because a lot of people just hated on the Snake Eyes movie. And then they brought him out as a regular release figure with tattoos and looking sharp and cool. And then I don't know if you guys can see it, but they did do a retro one. My retro Storm Shadow is way up on the wall up there, so probably not unless I did this. We can do it. There he is. Boom. The retro Storm Shadow right there on the wall. That's the only copy I have of that one. That was hard to come by. I see why. It's a sweet looking figure. But until I get a new one, that boy's I'm not taking one out of the package. But yes, they have Storm Shadow in the classified, of course. You miss your ball pythons, you want to get another snake. I was never into snakes. Except for Cobra! Oh. All right, we got two more, and they are both in the classified line. So we don't have to worry about either one of these, except for it would be nice to get a retro version of this boy right here, Wild Weasel. He's my air commander for Cobra. He came with the Rattler, Haslab Rattler, but unless I buy him separate or something, I'm probably never going to get this character unless they bring out a retro one for the classified line. Now they had one in the 25th anniversary as a carded figure, so maybe. He came with a 2-pack with Ace, so it was pretty badass. I wish they would do something like that. Maybe they'll do that again for the classified. Have a Ace versus Wild Weasel 2-pack for the classified like they did for the 25th anniversary. Now, for some, I may have saved the best for last, but alphabetically, you'd be last anyway. And if you haven't guessed, it's Zartan. Zartan. I'm out of drink, doggone it. I'll have to drink some water here real quick. But yeah, Zartan classified. Well, where do I begin? In the 20s. I think it was 22, maybe? 21, 22, somewhere around there. The classified Zartan, which is pretty cool. I do have that one. Number 30, I think number 30 or 31. 31. Snake Eyes was number 30 with a reissue of Snake Eyes. But they brought out a convention exclusive one that had multiple heads so he could transform. There was a wheel on the box that you could look at all the various different faces that he could put on. And it was really cool one. And it was a color changing Zartan, which I thought was okay, but instead of it being in the sun, he changed his color. You had to put him in the freezer or the fridge, whatever. Different plastic, they were trying out new things. And then they brought out a retro Zartan, which I don't have. I wish I had the retro one, but I do have the other one. So I do have a classified Zartan, and so he is in the line. He's available. So what are we talking here? They got them all. I mean, did I miss one? I mean, I think I got them. You remember that I thought skin changing Zartan was a trip? Yes. Oh, dude, yeah. I love the original Zartan. The first 2 figures that I bought after the Baroness and Shipwreck, I got vehicles, and I got Wild Bill with the Dragonfly and Zartan with the Chameleon. I still have the Chameleon and my Zartan. My Dragonfly original one unfortunately broke up, and my Wild Bill is messed up, but I bought a brand new one of those, and I have a Dragonfly and a Wild Bill. And if I ever get the classified one, I will do a Joe take on it, because Wild Bill was my favorite character of 1983. So that's where we're at. And that is our checklist for 1984. They pretty much covered it, man, because those characters were all badass. You want some toy that changes colors? Well, the classified Zartan, I think it was 31 in the series, was a convention exclusive. Good luck. They're expensive, so I eventually will try to collect them all, but it's like Pokemon. Got to catch them all. Ooh, yes. So that is our 1984 checklist, which means next month we'll be looking at 1985. We're looking at 2 characters in 1985, a Dreadnought, Buzzer, versus Footloose. 2 1985 Joes, just like we did 2 1984 Cobras. And he's up there on the shelf too. Let's see if I can point him out right next to Blowtorch, right there in the middle, right there. There he is. So yes, we'll be looking at Footloose next month with Buzzer. And we will be doing the 1985 checklist. So I'm looking forward to that. So that is our checklist. Thank you guys for being here. Anybody who watches the replay, thank you. I do have some more stuff for you, because I've got that Lady Bloodright clip I'm going to play for you. I have 2 music videos I'm going to play for you. I have another Veterans Day salute that I did when I first started doing this, way back when my Sergeant Slaughter tribute. And my Joe take on Sergeant Slaughter was my first Veterans Day salute. My second one was Shockwave. I thought it was an interesting idea to do a cop as a veteran, so because they're veterans too. Can't forget them. And he's also military, so he was both. He was a double whammy. You can't see those over there. Take your camera over. Over where? I showed the boxes. You mean those guys way back there? No, I can't take my camera back there. You'll see them. You'll see Footloose next month. Blowtorch eventually. After I do my checklist, I'm going to just start doing other Joes at random and Cobras. I'll go back to the regular. But doing this versus series with the checklist to give you guys a lot over the next few months because I'm just enjoying G.I. Joe, and I hope you guys are too. Oh, take a deep breath, Chris. Logan, that's me, Christopher Logan Hilton. And, whew, did a good job. Can't forget Uncle John, Commander Chapman, Tyrus, Bud Chapman, Mama Sins. Happy birthday to Mama Sins. I made sure I did all of that. Shout out to all the veterans in my family and your families. I love you. So salute here, salute the proper way because I'm a civilian. But, you know, all the respect and honors. As long as you serve your country honorably, I honor you. Thank you so much for watching this Joe Take. I hope you enjoyed my take on Stinger and Driver and Mutt and Junkyard. What I do want to do is a quick comparison on who would win between the Stinger Driver and Mutt and Junkyard. And I can do this succinctly. Hand to hand, Mutt would kick the Stinger Driver's butt. Stinger Driver mobile with his vehicle, that's another story. However, Mutt and Junkyard would sneak up on him and win. That for me, hands down, I'm on Mutt. So Mutt's video. So anyway, I'm not going just yet. No, I'm going to play some videos and thank you. That would be Mama Sins. And I never revealed her name on stream. She said she doesn't care, but you know, it's my older sister, and she turns. Let's just say she turns a new decade this year, and I'm 55, so I'm not going to say, but you guys can figure it out if you can do math. Hey, thank you guys, and she'll appreciate that. I'll let her know that you said happy birthday. Thank you so much. You watch, like I said, if you're watching the replay, thank you. We do have on From the Hilt, we have memberships and like, share, subscribe, and all that YouTube stuff. And I did the StreamYard clip. Thank you, StreamYard, for this. I would not be able to do these live streams without them. What little I pay every month, I mean, they even doubled it, and I still think it's worth it. So I can't get the more expensive one now like I used to have, but it still works, and I really love StreamYard. I said, you will stay on for another hour? No, I don't think so, because I got a birthday party to go to. My good friend, but I'm gonna be on for a bit. All right, let's take this off here, and we'll do this. Our final bit to salute. Let me see if I can make this happen. And there we go. To our veterans, thank you so much for your service, and we appreciate and honor you. All right, I got a couple of music videos I'm going to share with you. One is a brand new song by Nasty Ray Ray. He is my AI personality who is an Air Force fighter pilot. So I hope you enjoy this. It's brand new music. I think I played it like once on my Fridays. I will be playing it this Thursday again on our radio show, but here it is, an advanced one for you guys. Cool is Cool by Nasty Ray Ray.
Yeah. I see you looking. Take your time. You'll catch up. I'm cool, you don't get it, that's fine. I don't chase waves, I just find. I walk in, room settle in time. If you know, you know. If not, never mind. I move quiet, but the shift still lands. Ain't a flex, that's just how I stand. Check tone, check breath, check hands. Pressure drop when I take command. I got this, but I'm looking for we in it. Whole squad rise, just seeing me in it. Cool ain't loud, it's precision and vision. We don't talk cool, we live the decision. Ground team steady, that's anchor and edge. Eyes up top, that's altitude's pledge. Two fronts, one trust, same thread. You don't learn that, you earn what's said. I'm cool, you don't get it, that's fine. I don't chase waves, I define. I walk in, room settle in time. If you know, you know. If not, never mind. I don't flare when the noise get loud. Cool don't shout, cool stills the crowd. Hand steady when the roll get wild. trim locked in, that's just my style. But I ain't here trying to move alone. Whole team rise when we find that zone. Your strength's yours, mine stand on their own. But together, that's carved in stone. Some freeze up when the moment get real. We breathe once, center then deal. Trust ain't talk, trust is feel. You with me? Then we both stay still. Stay close, don't rush, don't fold. Feet firm, eyes clear, mind cold. We don't break when the pressure take hold. We just lock in, tighten and go. Hands move, no panic, just skill. Heart calm, that's force of will. Ain't no hype, no front, no thrill. Just earn pace, that's how we kill. You on cool, find center, find still. If you hear, then stand. If you doubt, stand still. I'm cool, you don't get it, that's fine. Don't chase ways I define. I walk in, room settle in time. If you know, you know. If not, never mind. Cool is cool.
And that is my latest from Nasty Ray Ray. Like I said, I do have the other videos I'm going to play for you. Right now, I'm going to play Lady Bloodright for you. It's part 10. It's Act 10. It's Act 3, scene 10. So just want to accidentally call a whole bunch of people at the same time, like I did that one time. Yeah, it can be done. Yes, we can talk with video on Discord. I don't do it much. I don't really care for it. Which is weird because I can do this all day long. I just don't want to accidentally. Okay. I read that already. Okay. All right. So, you guys ready for Lady Bloodright? This is my tribute to my sister for her work, her great voice work, and she's got a couple more voices to do in the finale, and that's it. But this was her big scene, and it also is a Veterans Day salute also. So. I hope you guys enjoy Act 3, Scene 10 of G.I. Joe Lady Bloodright. And here we go. We'll give them a moment to see to the wounded and care for their dead.
That's very sporting of you, Destro.
And definitely cuts into our profits.
I offer neither explanations nor excuses, gentlemen.
I'm still working the Stinger Blade feed. But they're learning. Every hack takes longer.
Stay on it. They just might be our ace in the hole.
Time to thin the herd. Volunteers? Low light? Find a high spot. Mutt, you and Junkyard take the Tiger Ram. Shockwave, you might as well take your night pursuit. Wolf Spider, you'll be in the Stinger. And one unaccompanied minor.
Very funny, but you don't need to babysit me, Sarge.
Wouldn't dream of it, Jinx. You're with me in the van. You watch my back, and I'll watch everything else.
Consider it done.
Don't forget gung-ho in the watchtower, Sarge.
I couldn't do that even if I tried, Scarlet. He can take the ram.
Leatherneck, see if you can get Xandar talking. Anything useful on Cobra Ops. I want it before we leave.
Interrogation's our specialty. Yeah, subtle like a train wreck.
Outstanding. Let's make it happen, people.
Like Jake said, consider it done.
Just one job to do first.
Amen to that.
Breathing deep, the fight ain't done. We lost more than we planned for out here. Dust on our boots, blood in rear view mirror. Mission that changed the plan mid-flight, but I still see their faces in the pale blue night. You carry the weight.
Oh, we're taking you home.
There's no shortcut to a soldier's soul.
As I always say, we all go home or nobody goes home. Now let's go to work.
Alpha Lima to Victor Bravo. Scarlet, we've got Stinger blades here and our airfield is compromised. Cobra has our coordinates. Advise. Over.
Copy, Airborne. You're now priority flight crew. You and I are the only ones certified to receive our thermal. Stay prepped. I'm coming to you.
Everyone prep for immediate exfil to Alpha Lima. Take what you can. Move now.
Say goodbye to your airstrip Joes.
Bet!
Fuck this. I'm out of here.
Bang. Not today, pal. Good night forever.
That's one way to unplug him.
Save a few for me, Sarge! Plenty for everybody.
He almost had you, Sarge.
Thanks, Jinx. Ooh, doggies. Unexpected. Typical of Sergeant Slaughter's tactics.
I got them.
Then do it already, Dalton.
Already done.
Fall back. Now.
Extraction window's open, Scarlet. Much appreciated. We're falling back.
We'll keep the door open for you, Sarge. Let's go, Dalton.
Scrubbing everything. We're gone.
Airborne, get ready. As soon as the Marauders are aboard, we're wheels up.
Copy. Wounded are on board and the engines are hot.
Hold that ramp for one more minute.
You got your 60 seconds, Sarge.
Set those vehicles for self-destruct, and then I'll see you on board the C-130.
It's a fucking tragedy.
Language!
What? Tragedy?
He's probably talking about the word it.
Yeah, for sure.
Something's off. I'm just being paranoid.
You're strong, but not strong enough. What in the hell's? Oh, she's not alone.
Big Ben. Took your bloody time.
Didn't want to steal your moment of love.
Nice spike. Zondar's?
Didn't think he'd be needing it. Yeah. I borrowed that same bike once. Oh shit, Zondar. Well, I'll be. He's one tough egg that never cracked. We forgot all about him. How the hell did that happen?
It's all good, Leatherneck. You're not the first one to forget about him, and you won't be the last. All present accounted for. Close it up, cover girl.
All aboard. Please fasten your seatbelts and ensure table trays are in the upright position for takeoff.
Cute. Punch it.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, it's just Scarlet.
Of course you'll know. You'll be taking full responsibility for this fiasco.
Better the responsibility than your blame.
No matter. This was Our Lady Commander's ultimate goal. Onward to Utah!
Well, this was a bust.
Make it happen, people.
And that was G.I. Joe Lady Bloodright, Act 3, Scene 10. Hope you enjoyed that. Mama Sins did a lot of voice acting in that one, and I thought that was the best one to show. Plus, we had the tribute to the fallen soldier. And we're going to call him the Unknown Soldier in this one, because I don't want to have any spoilers for her. No, that was me. I was doing Destro's voice. I did Destro, Sergeant Slaughter, Gung Ho. I did quite a few voices in that, but a lot of those voices were AI because I didn't want all to sound like me. But I did a pretty good Sean Connery impersonation for Destro. Destro's Scottish, and I think you should have a Scottish accent, so that's me. All right, that's almost my time here. I do have another video that I'm going to play for you. This one is like 7.5 minutes, a little longer than 7.5 minutes. I have to go to the restroom, so I'll be right back. And hope you guys enjoy it. This one, I put a lot of work into. It's called The Extra Mile, and I always play it for veterans.
Dead of the night, when the stars light the sky, we drive through the darkness with our spirits held high. Beneath the canopy of stars, we fight for what's right. Guided by the moonlight, we strike with all our might. We are the Humvee warriors, fire burning in our souls. We'll stand together no matter how the battle unfolds. Under the stars we'll fight till dawn's early light. Our Humvees light the way as we conquer the night. Yo, Joe, we do it all. United in our mission, we'll see it through. Guns locked and loaded, ready to attack. Silent as the night, we won't hold back. Stepping out of shadows, we move with grace. Navy SEALs, the stars shining on our face. With the Navy SEALs, stars in our eyes. Fight for justice under the midnight skies. With every step we take, we'll never fall. United we stand, the heroes who answer the call. Yo, Joe, we do it all. We do it all. Night operations is our goal. We make it look easy with style. We go the extra mile. The skyward flight, black helicopters flying by. Freedom is ongoing over the land, over or under the sea, in the air, and even in outer space. Yo, Joe, we do it all. Night operations is our goal. We make it look easy with style. We go the extra mile.
Yo, Joe. I like that song. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I do have the one more tribute, and then the outro. I'll talk a little bit about it, a little bit with you after the tribute. But then I will sign off and say goodnight and play the outro, and we'll see you next time. It's already the longest Joe take ever, I'm pretty sure. So having a good one tonight. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Here is one of my Veterans Day salutes. It's very much like the Let's Ride that I played at the beginning. All right, buddy. But this one is just the national anthem with a little bit more music and a little bit more weird, wacky AI images I made when I first started doing this. So here's my very first Veterans Day salute. And that was my first Veterans Day salute to my Uncle John. I got one more little clip I'm going to play for you, and then I'll talk a bit, and then we'll play the outro. And I don't care if this one gets my video, so it's not monetized, but I like to play this one for Veterans Day. Here you go.
All right, Cobras, it's over. Get those hands up.
Washington's a little battered, but the town still looks pretty good to me.
We won a major victory today, but it's not over. Serpentor's one tough cookie, and Cobra forces will follow him to the gates of oblivion.
We'll have to keep on our toes from now on. The price of liberty is always eternal vigilance.
Yo, Joe!
Yo, Joe. Sergeant Slaughter planting the flag. Yes, sir. I love that clip, and I will always play that for Veterans Day, whether I'm monetized for it or not. I don't know. I had some issues with the original one not being monetized, but then they monetized it, so I don't know. Sometimes they allow it, sometimes they don't. Hasbro might share. I don't care. I don't mind. But yeah, Sergeant Slaughter planting the flag. It's my boy. Love Sergeant Slaughter. I am so glad that he was a part of G.I. Joe, and my hat's off to him. I know he's an actor, so it's civilian, but G.I. Joe, and that's not the one I wanted to play. But okay. I love that clip. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Well, that is my Veterans Day salute. That is my take on Stinger and Driver and Mutt and Junkyard and who would beat who. I don't want to go through all the particulars because, you know, missiles versus dog and man's going to lose if those missiles hit. But if they sneak up on him, it's over for the Stinger Driver because that's all he's got. So there it is. That's my assessment on Mutt versus Stinger Driver, Mutt and Junkyard. Hey, Sergeant Slaughter did both WWF and G.I. Joe. That's pretty American if you ask me. Oh, yeah, definitely, sir. Yeah. He's Robert Remus he was a great actor, and I love him as Sergeant Slaughter. So, so shout out to Sergeant Slaughter. So, shout out to the Fridge. Shout out to Rowdy Piper. All made G.I. Joe. So, real life people who made G.I. Joe. So, I think that's all, but I could be wrong. I know they based some of the figures on the likenesses, but not, you know, and some names, but generally not at the same time. Not right out and out saying this is Sergeant Slaughter in real life, and this is the Fridge in real life, and this is Rowdy Piper in real life. So they all became Joes. Rowdy Piper was actually the honor guard for Destro's Iron Grenadiers. So convention exclusive. I never got that one, but that's pretty cool. So, all right, my friends, I did all the YouTube bits. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you being here with me. I just Veterans Day always touches me. I hope I was able to convey that to you. I love our military and our servicemen, police, military, canines. Shout out to our canines. We got for the last one. Here we go. We got Junkyard in order. There are G.I. Joe canines and their handlers, but they've had their day in the sun. And Law and Order will get their video eventually. You are welcome, Per, and yes, I try. So thank you for that. I always try to do a good tribute. And this is, like I said, I'm pretty sure this is the longest Joe take. So I think I honored him this time, and it doesn't feel rushed. And I'm pretty sure I got everything. And one last minute before I forget, I will do this one more time. Uncle John and his flag. Thank you, Uncle John. I miss you. Mama Sins, thank you for your work as Lady Scarlet. Happy birthday. And we'll be having her party just a little bit later. She's sleeping right now. But yeah, I love my family. I love America. And that's my Veterans Day salute. Thank you for being here, Jess and Per and Cool Gamer. If you're still rocking with us, thank you. And whoever else was watching, appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed the show. And on all of that note, I am going to have to say, Logan out, my friends.
Logan's room full of Joe take dreams. commander schemes with his clan. Scarlet sharp hits hard, flips fast. Destro's armor gleams from the past. Logan's G.I. Joe takes fierce and honest view. Red versus blue, it's up to you. Stay a while and listen for the consumerism. Logan's G.I. Joe's takes given with enthusiasm. Sartain shifting sneaks in disguise. Storm Shadow's blade cut through lies. Baron is cold with her deadly aim. Shipwreck laughs, wins the game. Doc's healing hand in the fray. Flint's shotgun clears the way. Major Blood's battle cry echoes near. General Hawk leads, we cheer. From the hills on YouTube, tune in for a day. Joe takes to help you with your play. Let's put these characters to the test. Logan's the G.I. Joe gamer, plays it